Welcome to Benchwarmers, a Woso podcast, episode 2. Game week 1 is now done.
It's done. It's complete.
It's done. Wow. But before game week 1 happened, we thought we filmed just before the end of, we thought we'd get every transfer.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, deadline day happened, and basically everyone decided that they were going to go insane.
Yeah.
And make our content incredibly irrelevant.
Yeah.
Just mere days after we record.
Yeah, it was absolutely heart-wrenching, incredible. By the way, every person who watches men's football out there and complains about how there's no shock signings, watch women's football. It's basically everything you miss about the 2000s era of deadline day. Everything happened.
And not just everything happens that you least expect.
Oh, it was...
there's no club loyalty.
No. Okay, so let's speak about club loyalty. All right, let's do this quickly. Jess Park, you traitor. No, it's not her fault, I swear. No, I actually somehow still resonate with her. And
she looks good in red.
She does look good in red.
Good in the kit.
Yeah, and we have Grace Clinton, who we did talk about on the pod, and I did say I didn't want her. I understand the move. I do understand it. I've sat with it a bit. I think Jess Park doesn't sit in our system the right way. Okay. I think if we were going to use her, she's going to be that 10, that 20, end of 2023, 24 season. We don't have that anymore. I think we've decided Viv is that 10. We gave her the number, we gave her the position, and Jess needed to go, and she needs to get minutes, and she needs to enjoy the Champions League.
And we will talk about it later, but when she did come on, she was good.
She was great. Yeah. Do you want to talk about the next big one?
Yeah. Well, as the resident NWSL watcher here, Alyssa Thompson to Chelsea is an interesting move beyond just it being for Chelsea. I think it has ramifications for the league in America.
Seriously.
The soft cap debate. If you watch any content creator, any ex-player from America, they'll tell you that the soft cap is the death of the NWSL. I disagree. I think maybe geographically there's a bit of a problem. Maybe, find a continental trophy of worth.
Find a style of football that resonates with other countries.
Yeah, I think, look, we don't know what Alyssa Thompson will bring. Yeah. What the pictures I have seen of her cast keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Oh my God.
It's
a missile. It's a missile.
We're lucky that it's,
she's turning into Iron Man. It's
exactly.
Iron Woman.
No, yeah. It's what she brings on the flank. She'll be a good signing for as much as Chelsea want to use her.
Similar to the Smith signing that you've taken in that, the Maverick. You both needed a Maverick, and you've both got a Maverick. I feel like it was also a bit petty as well. It's like, you got Olivia Smith, we'll get Alyssa Thompson. It was a bit of a statement. They needed to bring someone in for that firepower.
If anything, the content that came out of NWSL Reddit was great. The Angel City, the fans were crashing out.
And rightfully so with how they've performed recently. Grace Gioro, I am a big Grace Gioro fan. For not much longer.
1.4 million pounds worth, allegedly.
To Kang FC, we've made ourselves clear on LCL, and now they have according to Michelle Kang, they didn't pay that much.
They didn't pay it?
I didn't pay that much. We paid 900,000. Oh, it's so much less. Grace Gioro is an excellent signing because it's not an old, washed-up player.
No.
It's someone who's actually relatively... had an amazing season.
Came off a great Euros as well.
Unbelievable Euros. Actually made that midfield her own in the French team. Her and Aslani are going to make a serious impression on the league. And our prediction of LCL in 9th kind of looks a bit misguided.
No, I'm sticking with it.
I want to stick with it.
I watched the game. But
do the other teams that we look at that we put ahead of them 5 to 8 have a player of that caliber? I think it's going to be an interesting signing to look at across the season, just how she performs, how she reacts to the WSL. I think she's an interesting signing for the WSL, let alone for London City Lions.
We don't have many Frenchies.
No, exactly, and not a lot of successful ones as well. The last two, very minimal. We want to get through them probably quickly because we've got more interesting things to talk about. But Shimizu on loan from us.
Yeah. She's just back from injury.
Yeah. Glad she's on the park. Only came on for a minute, but Hey, can't ask for more in a minute in a 4-1 down loss.
No remontada.
We'll get okay. one woman remontada would be amazing, but we'll get to that Merseyside derby soon because I mean, what a game! And then Tandberg to Spurs.
I think it's a good move.
Yeah.
I think you need someone to help Beth England.
Yeah.
She obviously just got them over the line with a penalty.
Yeah.
But I think if anything, what Spurs need are goals. And she'll bring goals. I mean, how many goals? It was 19. And...
Still coming 11.
Yes, but it was like 19 goals in 37 matches.
Yeah, it's impressive. No, I think she could be the saviour. She could be the saviour. But definitely gives them a spark of joy. I think it's something for Spurs fans to look at and be like, there is a semblance of progression, which is nice. I think that's all the transfers we missed last week.
Yep.
Let's move into the games of the week, right? So your team or my team?
No, your team, I think.
My team. Fair enough. First game of the year.
Yep. It was a Saturday morning our time, Friday their time.
Yeah. Yep. Look, this was an interesting game. We've chatted about this a little bit off camera, but we have completely differing views on how this game ran.
Before that, I think we have to make a note about international broadcasters.
Oh my God.
And
okay, down the lens. You're going to go down the lens here?
Whoever is in charge of broadcasting to the audience outside of England, please. We are grateful. We are grateful that we don't have the halftime yaps by Lucy Bronze, by Yeglert, or whoever they want to interview. Thank the Lord.
All those minuscule changes that they made, like the in-change room content pre-match.
I don't care. Yeah. I don't want to see them. I don't.
It was like this big deal.
I want to see possession stats, Ben.
Just show me the XG.
Please. Okay, I don't know who. I'm just going to say Stan Sport because they're ours.
Yeah.
Please, Stan Sport, ESPN, whoever, I need you to stop glitching every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. I want to watch a game of football.
Sometimes I think it's my internet and then the internet validates.
No, and then I go on Twitter and I see everyone who isn't like from the UK going...
2-minute highlights.
Yeah. It's shocking. Highlights. It is shocking.
And they're all buffering. But
on the game.
Yeah. Look, I think there's a lot of good to take from it. Okay. They are the champions. Let's remember the reality is that we've come up against the champions, first game of the year, and we put up a good performance. We had more shots than them. We had more chances created than them. I personally think they started the game really well and we started a bit shaky.
And I disagree.
Yeah. So I see a lot of discourse online saying we had a lot of chances in that those early 20 minutes. And then it's when Sonia changed formation, which is so scary, by the way, because I think last year Sonia had these ideas and they weren't really translating to the players at the best parts of their season. The fact week 1, she snaps her fingers and goes, we're playing like this. And then the whole game changed. And they did open up, but I think we did adjust well after about 10 minutes when they moved to that 3. Obviously, Ellie Carpenter gets that ball and made us semi-viral. Thank you, Ellie Carpenter. So Beaver Jones gets on the sheet. As I also said in the podcast prior, a hungry Aggie Beaver Jones is going to be better
Scary prospect.
Is going to be better than Sam Kerr at the latter stages of her career and scores basically a route 1 routine goal for Beaver Jones. It's exactly how you describe it.
The transition was incredibly fast.
The speed.
And very prolific.
Yeah, and it's where you find Kira Walsh in the middle doing what she does best, picking out that expansive, wide pass. I think you had a player like Hamano on the bench last year not doing much.
She was incredible.
Oh, my God.
She to me was the player of the match.
Player of the match?
Yeah, no, Hamano...
She was amazing.
Great.
Yeah, the way she cut in on that left side into the centre of the park, really, really targeting Pryor and Rose.
Yeah.
Look, I think there were a lot of decisions Yeglert's made off the back of injuries. Kanak is there and Carolyn or Fugino is there. You don't have Andre Yeglert's at the end of the match justifying Lauren Hemp on the right.
But I think the problem is you have a player like Kanak out. So then why are you putting Greenwood on that left back position? Yeah,
so Yeglert's, I mean, I heard in his post-match interview described it as Kana Reid or Carpenter, these physical, experienced players with these acceleration mechanics can come on. We have that player with experience to not just bring the ball up the field, but also target their defensive liabilities and capabilities and then put the product onto them on that side. So actually take it to them. I tend to think otherwise. I think anyone who's watched her for 5 years knows she's the best left centre half in the league. Yeah, in my opinion. I think her left foot, that expansive pass to the left side with Uabi there, or I mean, in the past, Leia Alexandri there, like that was the play.
Yeah.
And I think right now, I don't know if Uabi's Fitch came on in the 88th or 89th minute. Not enough time. Jeglert's, that was also a big part of the game, is there was just no subs.
Sure.
He brought on someone at the 77th, the 85th, and the 90th. The game was already done.
I feel like it was a game that, well, from my perspective, I felt like Chelsea were up for the taking late.
Yeah.
And I felt like what happened was any impact that could have been made via subs were just too late. Bene couldn't get into the game. I would have loved to have seen that drive and that rawness, especially in the center of the park where she was kind of
drifting in.
And I felt like obviously the problem with your squad is that constant injuries.
Oh, yeah.
And Lily Murphy, that we'll go on later as one of our segments.
Oh, no. She tried her hardest. I actually think when Hempo moved over to the other side, she was much better off the right and was able to create some opportunity, which is nice. Look, there are sparks. It's going to be hard when you're coming up against the best team in the league.
How did Viv go?
Viv, I feel like, got a bit lost in that central part.
I agree.
Definitely got the Cuthbert physical treatment, which is, nothing easy to write home about.
I just felt like there was no intent by her to make any runs that would challenge, especially that left side centre-back position. I felt like Millie Bright specifically, she just didn't have the best game of her
Well,
career.
I think it's just that Bunny Shaw Viv like combination. They still haven't worked out when they want to switch and when they want to run forward, when they want to make when they want one to hold and one to lay off to have that long shot. Viv did get that one shot off.
And that was really good, unselfish run by Bunny to drag the centre-back away so Viv could make that mark. Yeah, exactly.
And then it's the same when Bunny had that shouldered off, I think it was Millie Bright, if I'm not mistaken, and could have laid it off to Hempo, but didn't. But there are obviously patterns of play that you can see that aren't the same as last year, which is nice. But it will take time, and especially against a team like Sonia that's now adjusting formations effortlessly.
Yeah.
I think there was something to take from it that wasn't just, we got battered by a bunch of world-class players. And I think I also said last podcast that Ellie Carpenter needs to move to the left if they're going to win anything, and I think I stand by that.
She doesn't do that cross on the left.
Yeah, I know that's true.
If she can hardly kick a ball with her right foot.
That's true. But no, that's not true. But what is true is that her left foot isn't the same. No. But I don't think they'll use her that way because Niamh Charles didn't really get that much expansive time, and they'll just want her to sit. And then when we swapped Hemp when we had Hemp on the right side, she was bossing Niamh Charles. She was making her move around. Yeah, exactly. But that's what I mean. We need to. That is the liability. If they want to be serious in other leagues, it's going to be moving her over or finding another way.
And I hope that does not mean that Sandy Baltimore has to drop down just to fit someone like Alyssa Thompson.
We're not in the PSG days of Sandy doing that. But I think that kind of covers that game. I mean, look, a 2-1 loss to them in that way was a bit disheartening because it's. I know Jeglert said that it's not like the season's over, but like the reality is that if you even if we got 1 point out of that, it would have put pressure on them straight away, especially when we come to your game. I, for one, would not like to be Michelle Kang right now.
Yeah, well, Michelle Kang has a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And coming up against an Arsenal team like that was going to be one of them. And it was obvious. I think the first 10 minutes, I think that we were shaky. And I think both teams, particularly Arsenal, though, looked shaky, looked a bit lethargic at times. I felt like we didn't really grasp the dimensions of the Emirates. I did think that it was a wide and a long pitch. I think players like Mariona, we think that they thrive in those spaces. But I actually found like players like Mariona, Katie McCabe, missed passes, misjudging of the space and the time that they had on the ball. You saw Nikita Paris just really pressure Katie McCabe.
Yeah.
Every time she got on the ball, especially early on. And we then saw that with their counterattack, which obviously saw Katie Reid originally do a very impressive tackle.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was that immaturity that everyone has pointed out now.
Exactly.
Which led to a Kangslani.
Yeah, Kangslani penalty. 1-0. 1-0. What was your thoughts?
I wasn't stressed.
Good.
No, that's a lie. I wasn't stressed. I was a little bit, I was more confused and annoyed at the fact that it got to the point where we let them in, even if it was just one goal.
Yeah.
I think that the way then that we adapted and we started playing far more positive football, far more progressive, far more attacking.
Creative football.
There was no midfield in that game, that London City. I mean...
It looked very analytical, but it also just looked like a bunch of players and the reality, this is true, it doesn't look like it is a bunch of players that have been there for less than a month together.
Yeah, but I just, personally, I was watching the game and I'm thinking, just how open it is on transition particularly, but the flanks. I've seen a lot of people talk about how, I think for what it's worth, Jana Fernandez had a good game.
Yeah.
I think that right side for them is probably their strongest, but the left side in particular, we saw the...
Oh my God.
And we're not even, this isn't even talking, which we will, about Olivia Smith's debut, but just particularly on the second goal, the way that Emily Fox is able to dart into the box, make that pass to Russo to cut back to Kelly.
Yeah, swings over.
That to me is like a complete midfield and defensive breakdown. And is that to do with the fact that the players aren't gelled? Is it to do with the system? I don't know, because, at this point, I don't think LCL's coach has a system. He's just, he hasn't even talked about it.
My pressures.
Yeah, but no, we should go on to Olivia Smith, because that debut...
Wow.
Was it better than Van Persie, Viv, Nasri?
The best Arsenal Emirates era debut.
I think so.
Yeah, it is hard to walk past the I think it'll go down in history. We'll think about that goal. You'll be thinking about that goal. And the funny thing is, even if you took away that goal, the performance was fantastic. The way in which she can cut inside with ease, when you talk about a player and you just want to see you want to see them with the ball, you want to see them carrying the ball up the field, and I think it makes up for the players that we know, the usual suspects of that Arsenal core, like McCabe and Mariona, not having their best days. I still think Mariona had little moments where she was showing her class, but again, normally is more involved in that final third finish, especially the shots. She didn't really have many shots on goal that I can remember.
I think it's the creative things that she's allowed to do, to me, is what goes underrated when we're talking about even Alessia Russo.
Yeah. I feel like Renee has given license for someone like Olivia Smith to be like, Alessia is going to be that more creative positional anchor in the forward line. She's not going to be the direct number one. You're going to take shots. It's going to hit the keeper. It's going to fall to Kelly, and no one's going to beat her at that far post. It's going to be Kelly cutting inside, winning those corners. It's going to be Marnham getting forward in the later parts of that game. We have to talk about Frida back up there. Wow, what a performance to come.
Frida Marnham at the Emirates. Okay, Mead we can talk about. I think Frida Marnham, though, I think I've said this to you, the most underrated Arsenal player. I think to me, what she's able to bring, and what I really enjoyed about this game, particularly in the passages of play that we really dominated, it's a style of football that Arsenal yearned for. Arsenal fans yearn to see shots on goal, to see, dribbles. Yeah.
Barrage of attacks.
We want Jogger Benito at Arsenal. We do.
Guna Benito.
Guna Benito.
Yeah.
No, we do. And we now have the players for that. Cully, Smith. These are players now that can actually, give life when, we're facing low blocks and we're facing stodgy opposition. A player like Frida Marnham comes on, a player like Caitlin Ford comes on and opens the game even more.
It shows you gears as well.
Yeah.
It shows you've definitely got
we have levels,
different styles, different attacking outlets you want to show, and then your defensive cover. Look, Katie Reid comes in, has a little bit of a poor fluffy moment at the start, and then from there was pretty much flawless. 11
Jules won, I believe.
Yeah,
incredible. And
what? How old? 19, 18?
Yeah, she benched the perpetual benchwarmers.
Oh, yeah.
In Laia Cadena and Lotte Wubben-Moy. I don't know who starts.
Leia and Lottie, you are always welcome.
You're welcome on the
pod.
Well, welcome on pod.
If you're sick of sitting on the bench at the Emirates, you are more than welcome. We won't pay you to fly out because we can't afford that. But we want you here talking about why you are one of us.
Lotta, write a poem.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No, but Beth Mead, 52 now assists in the WSL.
Is that
it's the record.
It's the record? Yeah.
It's the record. And I'm happy for her. I think she went out there with a point to prove. You saw it in the first assist. She just it was energy there.
The way she contorts herself to put the ball.
But please put it in the back of the net, Beth.
But she doesn't have to. She does. The
she
facilitator.
Does have to.
I mean but in that particular period, you're 2-1 up. She couldn't even cut that ball back. She could have even cut the ball. Like the way you had control over the game once you had the ball, like it's so nice to have that experience on your bench, even if you can talk about what she could have been worth monetarily to the club. The reality is that experience on the bench will always get you results. Yeah. It just will. It'll skin you out of games. There'll be games where you play your bogey team, and we'll talk about that soon when you're coming up against West Ham. Like, it's the kind of game where you're 1-0 down, you bring on Beth in the 85th, she whips up chefs up two of those balls with perfection.
Kang got Stina Blackstenius.
Another player. And again, another player on the bench who can God. The fact that you have the Champions League final winning like recipe on the bench, that's all that you can't buy that kind of depth.
No.
To have the youth on the field, the fire developing, while the old golds can come on and just do what they do best.
In front of how many? 34,000?
Oh my word, yeah.
A third of Chelsea's. Yeah. Right? Stamford Bridge. I couldn't even fill out level 1. Look, I think half of them were paid actors and the other half was the Chelsea 700-man squad in that stadium.
And how many people did Jason Sudeikis bring to the Emirates?
Look, I mean, you know,
he was dancing to Freed from Desire.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's what it is. We are a destination club.
Yeah.
400k would have been great, but I don't know who comes in and makes what was a dominant 4-1. Yeah. Any better. I'm really happy with that performance.
I think you had to keep her, and she's shown why.
Yeah.
We can move through the rest of the WSL, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it's important to look at a team like United really quickly. They had definitely moments against
a team that is going down.
Yes, again, I mean, everything.
We
got a lot of things wrong in our first podcast. Our Leicester take was perfection.
I know.
Yeah, they
Sorry,
are.
Leicester.
Look, Tooney had a great shot. Mallard had some moments.
Yeah.
I actually think Mallard looks like a bit hungry this year. I feel like she wasn't as good last year and didn't really cement her spot.
I think she had that lead up to the Euros, she was getting more minutes. Yeah. She didn't necessarily get those minutes than in the Euros, but I think she's a player that can have moments.
Oh, 100%.
And I think that those moments will come against the teams that allow her space and time. I mean, her goals were great, but I don't think there were anything out of the ordinary or anything that any team can't do against a really just poor Leicester side.
Yeah, I don't think... The sad thing is there isn't much to say about this game because they just weren't getting past halfway. They weren't facilitating expansive moves. No. The best shot they were managed to get was a header from 12 yards that just hit Tullis Joyce on the chest. Routine work. I think... We'll see more of United this week against LCL. I think LCL will give them
But we'll see them even more in the Champions League. They
true.
Have a game.
And Rolfo to come as well.
Yeah.
I'm actually scared at how
I'm not scared.
She could bring to this team in terms of not necessarily trophies. I'm not saying that, but the belief that, you know what, we're the third best club in the WSL. And that's not... It's not a delusional thing to think, especially with the signings they've made. And I think they're going to try and win out on this Park Clinton deal and show that they've got the one up, even though that a lot of United fans I've spoken to are not happy with her. No. It'll be interesting to see what they can do against a different team. Yeah. I would love to talk about this Merseyside derby for an hour, but the reality is it was just such an amazing game with so many great moments.
If you just watched the first half of this game and then saw the final result, you would think that you were going crazy.
Oh my God.
Because Liverpool dominated.
Oh, the first 10 minutes, the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was Everton were really pinned back. Oh. And level that they showed in the second half. Bringing on of Claire Wheeler, to be fair, she made an impact.
Baller.
Sure.
No, but she is. She's definitely got like like the match winning qualities you want on a facilitator midfielder. She's not the scorer, but she just
she opened that game up.
Yeah, exactly.
She opened it up.
She's the one that breaks the lines. She's the one that finds the pass to the next pass.
And Gazball hates playing in the midfield.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
They Gazball. I mean, I think Gareth. I mean, that first half wasn't bad. It was actually anti-Gareth ball. The first half was good, and the second half was a calamity.
But no, Vignola is a revelation.
Okay, yeah. I mean, how many times have you like seen a player? You just think, you know what? They're player making up the numbers in the WSL, and then they go and score the first hat trick against Liverpool, since 1931.
Dixie Dean.
We're going back to Dixie Dean. Shout out to Dixie Dean. Anyone who knows who Dixie Dean is.
He's dead.
Yeah, shout out to the Dean family. That first goal, and then the third goal's a bit of luck, but when you're having a game, you're on, you just take any shot that's going in. She should have just had more shots, just keep going. But that first goal, to have no support on that side and just take on the player, like it almost reminds me of like the kind of thing like a world class Beth Mead would want, in that corner. You give her the 1-on-1, like the 2022 Beth Mead, the 1-on-1. Yeah. She cuts inside that left foot, that left curler around the corner. That's what Vignola was doing. I mean, it was a fantastic goal. But even Kapok's goal, the first one, was a ripper. And God, the stadium was rocking. Yeah. Like it was such a good game.
And I'm happy because I think what Everton is a team that we underestimated going into the season. And I think with the WSL, we want more of those storylines. We want more teams challenging the, Liverpool aren't necessarily the teams that, are going for any sort of title charge.
No.
But it is a team of note.
Oh.
And
Herbinger's got qualities that make her like an upper echelon WSL player. Snoys from Everton is definitely a player that's going to be looking to try and get double-digit goals this year.
I think it was an exciting game, and
they're going to give teams trouble. Both teams are going to give other teams trouble.
And I think that they were the most convincing of any of the quote-unquote mid-table teams
100%.
over the weekend.
They both showed their worth. Yeah. And we could talk about a few of the other games a little bit. I mean, there wasn't really much of note. I will say shout out to Nnadozie. Great goalkeeping performance. Really kept Brighton in that. Yeah. They should be very happy with it.
And the halftime change of Ali Roebuck and D'Angelo.
Yeah, that is
a bit of Arteta ball circa 2024.
Yeah, that was weird seeing a goalkeeper change in the 45th. Yeah. But both shout out to both goalkeepers.
They did all right.
They both did a job.
Yeah.
Let's leave England.
Yeah.
Because you know what? We spend so much time. We spend so much time talking about it. Vamos. Yeah, are we going to Spain now? Let's do it. Spain. Wow, there's 2 games here that I'm so excited to talk about.
Great.
This is what we've been.
We'll do Barca first because that was just. I mean,
8-1. I 8-1 to be. I 8-1 to be Athletic Club right now. So the Basquiats, they got beaten 8-1 by my beloved Barcelona. After an 8-0.
Completely it was
cinema.
It's not. You see 8-1s and you go, okay, so they probably walked in a couple goals. They probably at the end of it, they're just tap-ins.
Yeah.
No. We're seeing goals from halfway. We're seeing Bergkamp-esque touches over the keeper. Right? We're seeing Kika Nazareth play like prime Lexi.
Oh my god. Wow,
Lexi Mateus, would you like to come on the pod? Bench warmer.
Oh my wow! Oh jeez, how dare you talk about how dare you talk about La Reina like that? Look, there was a lot. Again, we talked about it last week after the Alhama game, which is that we need to see a future of Barca without Aitana and Alexia to rely on, and boy, did we see that. So Vicky Lopez. Wow.
The player that I think is still underrated despite everybody I
don't think she's
No. I think she is. I think people expect so much of her that then when you least expect it, she comes up with a performance like that.
She's so good. So talented. And I mean, the goal with her head, just to react that well. She's always on the end of everything.
A Spaniard. with a header.
It's scary. It's a scary precedent to
who's
see.
not Paredes.
Look, 19 years old or 18 years old, I don't even know. Every year she gets younger.
A child.
Basically, people that are younger than us succeeding on the top level is unbelievable. Kika Nazareth had an unbelievable game from that left side, really showing that those balls over the top to Elwa, really finding that connection between the two of them. I think we'll see more of that this year. And then Payol doing Payol things. I think we're going to be looking at a serious number at the end of the year again for Payol. She's going to end up with 90 goals in 2 seasons. And I mean, we can talk about the goal they conceded. I mean, Patri's goal was amazing. Patri scored the second goal, and it was over the top, this halfway goal, and it would have been the best goal of the game if it weren't for the fact that the one goal that Athletic Club scored was basically the exact same goal on the other side.
I have never seen a keeper want to be a centre-half more in my life. Stay on your line.
Yeah, so Catacol...
It happened twice in the game. If it weren't for Mapi Leon pulling her best Puyol interpretation, saving the goal with her nose...
And then it would have been a better joke because it would have been 8-2 instead of 8-2 be Athletic Club. But yes, Catacol sometimes just sweeping a bit too much. I think she thinks she's in Mary Poppins a little bit of chimney. But she's an amazing shot stopper. We can't deny that, but just a little bit of a headless chicken.
I think this game also showed that you can be the best team in the world and left backs are still such a problem in the women's game.
Yeah, I mean...
Esme Brutes is a pretend left back.
Yeah, she's a left wing. I mean, it's hard. I need to see them in the Champions League to see if their formational structure will change because she does love inverting on that side.
But it's not even that. I just think that there were the errors that they predominantly exposed Barca on that left side.
Yeah, 100%. I think a player... That whole left side, the Salma, Kika, Esme.
Every assist that Salma gets, it's like she slowly justifies her way into that squad, and I hate it.
Yeah, I rate you, Salma Parahuelo. I do. I think you're an amazing hurdler. No, I actually think she's really talented. I just think she's just so raw and still needs to develop parts of her game that others have, which is sad. So Pina is just one of those players that is like, the irony is that a player like Salma would be great at the end of a game because of her pace, and Pina would be so good at the start for the control, but for some reason it just doesn't work like that, and you just need Salma on to absolutely terrorize that fullback, make them run as hard as they can, and then when Pina comes on, who's a little bit slow, a little bit more crafty, she gets the separation easily, and then does what she does best, which is that near post finish. It
was pretty. You know what? To be fair, it was a very composed take by Salma. It was a good assist.
Yes, yeah. Salma definitely did have some moments. Bon Mati as well doing a ton of things.
She can't score a normal goal.
No, just
she has to score.
Try not to hit a top bins challenge. Bon Mati, impossible. Now let's move on to the more entertaining game in the Liga F. The Madrid derby was wild.
I loved it.
I thought it was incredible.
So great game.
I mean, I need to get my receipts out here. So about 6 months ago, when we were struggling for a central defensive midfielder at Manchester City, Leggy asked me who I wanted in the six. And I asked her the same thing for Arsenal, and she said she wanted Sydney Lohman, and I said I wanted Hagel or Gabriela Garcia. And she was like, I can't find this girl. I don't know who this is.
I don't know who it is.
Yeah. Gabriela Garcia is a 6'2", 29-year-old central defensive midfielder who I would say is just the most criminally underrated player in the league. Like the way she moves for that size and the control she has in the air is like Wendy Renard-esque, I think. Like, especially in the Spanish league where there's a lot of short, crafty, nifty players. She's the bull. She's the brute. And I think that, she ends up with 2 assists in a game that...
She played well.
Yeah,
she tore that midfield apart.
Unbelievable. I mean, what midfield, to be honest?
What midfield? What defense? What attack?
Oh, my God.
We have to talk about my favourite player.
Yeah.
Signe Brun.
Signe Brun. Do you want to take this one?
Oh, well, I mean, Signe Brun, I've never seen a player so so willing to just throw her whole body on top of another person just to take them out.
Yeah.
It was a challenge.
Yeah, so and it wasn't her first. So she had 2 yellows in that game.
Casually coat hangs someone in the middle of the path.
No, Signa Brun is a good wrestling name, I guess. It's a good WWE
Signa
name.
Brun.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. She's just so hot-headed, so easy to provoke. Yeah, clearly.
And the second challenge to me
could have been a straight red. To be honest.
Well, it would have been, but it's not. That was malicious.
Oh, it was really. It was a really fight. I mean, again, I get Madrid derby and all, but I think that's why it was a yellow, not a red. But God, any other game early on, you get straight red. I think the way her foot comes up as well. Obviously, Signa Brun is actually a somewhat important cog in that. Madrid.
They need a striker.
Yeah,
because I look at Linda Caicedo.
She's not a striker,
and it looks incredibly poor.
And everyone knows how good Linda Caicedo is on the left. Technically all the things we said about Alyssa Thompson or Olivia Smith could actually apply to the technical brilliance that is Linda Caicedo.
But Linda Caicedo
she doesn't get the support.
No, and she's a player that. You give her an inch, she will take the field. She will take it. She loves being on the ball. She loves driving at her defenders. She loves that confrontation, and she wants goals.
And she shows it for Colombia.
I just don't think that any of the other players on that Madrid side wanted to score. I mean, bar a incredible free kick by Sara de Brits. I did not think
they were in the game.
No,
and that
defense is just.
Just shocking. Lacroix, I would say, would be the only one that could hold their head high after that. I think she had some.
Do they miss Olga? Surprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, I think
the leadership of Olga.
But she is. I think it's weird to think of a player that young as such a leader, but you could tell she was a club figure in the way that as much as it's weird to say one goal defines you, but the reality is that when you get immortalized in that way, so obviously Olga being the person who won Spain the World Cup in 2023, when you become that cult figure of the aura around you becomes this position of
especially
authority.
At Madrid, because I think for a team like Madrid, you're looking at an institution, a team based on pride and wearing the badge, and she loved that club.
Yeah,
I look at Atenea and I don't see a leader at all.
It's hard because I think she needs more support, and I think. It's weird, but I think this can be weird to say, but I think she needs more Spanish support around her. I feel like she needs there is something about Spanish footballers who play with each other that they find chemistry in ways culturally that a lot of others don't. And I think when two players from the same country are working together, I think of when Atenea, we can laugh at when she plays for Spain, but when she's linking up with Alexia.
Oh yeah, she looks like she just fit right into that
team. And
exactly. It's terrible to
the
say.
amount of times during that Euros I was saying to you, if Caro leaves, if Caro retires or finds more
don't
money.
Say it.
I don't want it to happen.
Don't say it.
But Atenea could slot in there and they'd be looking at a full Spanish front six and then they'd be flying. And I think it's hard to look at Atenea and Caicedo as two pretty world-class up-and-coming talents who don't have enough support. And I'm scared that both of them might leave. I mean,
we kind of forget that this Real Madrid squad is on the older side. In comparison to this Atletico Madrid team, 3 of their front 4 are under 22 or 22. I think their defense were all under the age of 23. They had 2 21-year-olds, a 22-year-old and a 23-year-old. Their oldest player is their keeper. And I think at the end of the day, we're seeing a team past a transitional period. This is now an aging team, a team that hasn't succeeded to the level that we thought that they would. If anything, I think it's difficult to have the burden of being Real Madrid in a league where you're facing opposition that is coming to your level quicker than you're getting to the level of, say, a Barcelona.
I mean, look, I don't really have any soft spots for Madrid at all. It's a weird Real Madrid season.
It's their worst. Is it their worst opening 2 weeks since 2019?
Yeah, 2021. 2021, 2022 season. I think is it the top 2 in the Liga F get Champions League, or is it top 3?
It should be top 2 or
it's
top
top
3.
2. So I mean, they've got tough competition now,
and they have a great game against Frankfurt, the Haley Rasso derby for the Champions League qualifiers. I'm tuning in.
Well, I mean, we're shooting ahead, but that's okay. Let's talk about Frankfurt actually. We can talk about that 5-0. And are we
against a poor team?
Yeah, no, I know, I understand. No, I mean, no. Shout out Essen for making that game watchable. And shout out for Essen to make Arsenal fans feel sad that they didn't sign Swiss magic. Geraldine Rutler. Oh my God! Like what was it? 2 goals, 2 assists in a 5-0 win. Even the 5th goal started the attack, carries the ball with such precision and so direct. Oh my God! I really like watching a player like her absolutely cement her places. Like it was like, oh, is she staying? Is she going? And she's come in. She's like, I'm not leaving, and I'm going to show you why. And
she commands that respect in the midfield. Based purely off the fact of her work rate is insane.
Oh, immense.
The way that she's able to pick up the ball and the energy that she has running down the center of that park and opening up the midfield, incredible.
Chiba coming on as well, doing a great job. Honestly, I see remnants the way she's carrying the ball from midfield. I could see her being like, I don't know, it's weird to say, but like, you know that those early stages of Fran Kirby at Chelsea, where she's like,
that's a great comp,
where she's like moving around and no one can touch her. And
she reminds me of Jordan Nobbs.
I think she's got a high ceiling. Sadly, I mean, shout out Jordan Nobbs, WSL hero. Yeah. But like the way she just commands the game, you can tell she has big aspirations in this Champions League. I don't know what Frankfurt could be a sneaky dark horse
in the Champions League.
Yeah, like
especially with this Swiss model.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The new model. That's what I mean. Is that you're not necessarily coming up against like the best teams every week. If they end up on that top half, that top half of the scale, and they get a harder team, they're going to be hard to beat at home. I think so.
I'm just looking forward to watching them every week.
Let's move to probably their title challenge rivals, the ones I'm wearing right now. Bayern Munich, was it 50,000 in the stadium?
50,000
that's absolutely mental.
It was a shaky opening 45 for Bayern against a Leverkusen team who did not sit back. They
loved it. Yeah. They loved the game.
I think they grew with the crowd, who was electric and incredibly. It was a motivating factor for both teams to put on a display. But I think Bayern showed in the second half just what happens when you put on a player like Carter.
100%.
Just the level. I mean, I said this last week. She's one of my favorite players to watch.
Yeah, she's definitely got the barometer factor. She commands the energy of the room. Like when she was taking those corners, I don't know if you heard the crowd.
Yeah. Oh,
holy crap! And it was like Beckham's taking a free kick. It was like crazy. It's like
the expectation.
It's like you knew it was going to be a goal.
With that offense, you need to score goals against this Bayern team because they are inevitable.
Yeah, they've definitely got cracks and Achilles heels, but they're gonna score against you. And whether it's with their firepower in the air, the new signing of Vanessa Giles. Oh my God, my Canadian goat. Yeah, it was unbelievable header, just towered over everyone, and then Clara Ball. 2 minutes later, 90 seconds later.
From Damjanovic, was it from?
Yeah, the pass. Yeah, the pass from Damjanovic. Fantastic goal. Obviously, one of our favourite German players, Leah Schuler, not on the score sheet at all.
Once again, and this is coming off what I believe was an incredibly poor Euros.
It's bar the first game.
Bar the first game.
Wow, that first game, I genuinely thought she was like it was Birgit Prince back in the flesh.
Yeah.
But again, that was a few months ago now, and she still hasn't put a goal in and it's different to Alessia Russo, where she hasn't scored as well, but she's facilitating.
Impacts,
she's not getting the ball.
And Schuler is that type of striker who needs to be scoring goals, because I don't think she necessarily offers much outside of that.
Wolfsburg game, the 3-3. I mean, it is a crazy game, but also like not I don't know. Is there any players you really want to shout out here other than our new favorite left back?
Favorite left back, the left back that might be maybe the one to bring back left backs.
Yeah,
in the
left
women's
back-itis, the left back-itis of sport.
Yeah,
Levels. Janu Levels showing the levels.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to see like a pass that is supreme levels,
Yeah.
that inbound pass from her to Berenstein,
Yeah.
absolute ripper. Did you think the ball went over the line in that 3-3?
Look, I've been going, yes, it went over the line, no, it went over the line. I think that it should be a goal simply off the basis that the defending and then the goalkeeping was so chaotic that it deserved a goal. You deserve that just for the narrative of a last minute free kick and the fumble by the keeper.
Yeah, the chaos of that game, the Wolfsburg-Hamburg game. I'm kind of glad it was 3-3 and they shared the points. Yeah. It was a crazy weird ending.
And it proves once again what happens when Wolfsburg don't invest when they let players go.
100%.
The bench of Wolfsburg is poor for a team that wants to challenge in the Champions League.
And also for their history. It's weird that teams like United are signing players off the back of relatively limited history, and players are coming out and saying, I want to be a part of this Man United history. Jesus. And a team like VfL that were ultimately incredibly successful in the 2010s can't have that pull anymore is very interesting. Let's move to Lyon.
What a debut.
Jule Brand and Lily Johannes both debuting.
Really good.
I think
frustrating.
Engen as well. Engen
in the centre half, which with that pairing of Wendy, I didn't think it would necessarily work.
Good to be back. Good to be back in the centre half position.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
Yeah. I mean, look, Marseille recently come up into the Ligue 1. And against Lyon, I mean, that's a really tough ask day one. Yeah. An 18-year-old playing in the defensive midfield position, absolutely bossing the show.
Just
top bins from in this tight corner
angle. Just
Jesus,
it makes the goal. Like, I mean, that it was a tapping for all.
Or you could have just been passed it in the net.
But the way that she does it is the flair. I love it. You'll see in future. My favorite goals are the goals that are just so unnecessarily top bins, and that was that was a goal that just didn't. She could have just passed in the net. Everyone would have been happy. Oh, she got an amazing goal. It was so perfect. Jule Brand. I just wanted to say this thing that I really like about her is that the amount of time she takes out of the game in terms of when she's pulling up to a defender, she runs up to a defender, she waits for the defender to try and make that challenge, and at the last second, she flicks it away. Yeah.
And it's just playing off her back shoulder, playing with her back to the player and finding a way to shimmy out of trouble. Just everything I love about Jule Brand, except she plays for Michelle Kang's side. Yeah. Wow, they're going to be scary in the Champions League as well. I mean, they're going to be aiming for the final. They have to be.
I think based purely off of depth, off of experience of players, and off of what these players demand in terms of the levels that they have and they bring, there should be absolutely no qualms that this team doesn't make a final.
Yeah, finals ready. They have to be, and I think Michelle would want nothing less. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about PSG. Do you want to take this one? I think Mary Earps. Do you want to talk about her? Or?
I mean, I think I don't really know what to say about Mary Earps other than she doesn't want to be there. No, she doesn't. No. The level of the French football. If you don't watch it. When you're playing PSG and Lyon, you're only practically going to score a goal off of a set piece or on transition. Yeah. And Lyon's on transition were deadly.
Rip them apart.
Yeah. And look, PSG scored. Good for them.
They were playing 5 at the back.
Yeah.
And they still got ripped apart on transition. That was the perfect game to just smash and grab, start a bit slow, 1-0. Yeah. But the reality is, I think Mary Earps is sitting there going to be in the Champions League. I don't think they're going to mount much. I think this is the kind of team that Frankfurt beats in the Champions League.
Exactly,
this is the kind of team that you want to come up against in the Champions League that's making up numbers. And
I just don't think that PSG are a destination club anymore. I think they will find it incredibly difficult to retain these players. Kachawi needs to go. If she is to see any success, which I think that she deserves, she is a player, Kachawi.
It's weird to talk about entitlement like that for players, but she is such a good player.
She's got to go, and she's got to go, and she has, and I think that
she played well. She actually did play.
Yeah,
she was probably the bright
in that midfield.
Crown.
She's taken up that midfield position incredibly well.
Yeah. So this week we're bringing in the Benchwarmers Woso podcast awards.
Yeah.
We have 3 topics. One topic is Never Bench Again, which is our player that either was on the bench or like last year or on the bench for the game and came on and is so good that they shouldn't be sitting with us. They should just be on the field.
We're supposed to be watching them and going, wow.
Then we have the super sub of the week. Obviously, that's where we sit and then they come out and do the business. And then the last one, our favorite award, it's going to be the Come on the Pod award, the ultimate bench warmer. Basically any player that starts and shouldn't.
Yeah, or just is on the bench.
On the bench and not doing anything. Yeah. But do you want to start with yours?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Carter Bull, I never want you to see a bench
again.
Ever again.
Wow, what a performance.
Never sit down.
Yeah, one goal. one goal. I mean, it's the sedentary behaviour is not good for them. 1 goal, 1 assist, can't complain. Yeah. My never bench again, I hate saying this, but Aggie Beaver Jones, we did talk about this before. Sam, this is a message to Sam Kerr. You have competition. They are younger than you, faster than you, arguably better than you now, and want to be a starting striker for Chelsea more than you.
Yeah.
And I don't think she should be benched. The way she's playing, the way she's presenting for Chelsea, she wants to be the starting striker in a Champions League final. And if you really want to do it, you've got to show it. But that's, it's a little bit of a call-out award. But because I don't really want to see Aggie Beaver Jones start for them. I want them to struggle. And she's kind of secure. There's a bit of risk in Kerr or in Ramirez when she comes back. But Beaver Jones is looking scary.
Yeah.
Super sub of the week.
Super sub of the week. Beth Mead, of course.
Shock.
I never doubted her.
Yeah, never. No, I've never heard a bad thing ever.
No, Beth Mead, she deserves her flowers.
She was great. Just as good as my super sub of the week. And you're gonna love this.
Yeah.
Rose Lavelle. We haven't talked about NWSL as much, but anything you've watched from that Gotham game, I mean, wow. She came on and just her left foot just tore up the show. She probably should have had 2 goals. She had 1. My God, definitely my super sub of the week.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to go on to my Come on the Pod award, the ultimate bench warmer. We've talked about her already. Niamh Charles. I don't know how you are Chelsea's first choice left back. I've seen Guro Wrighton play left back in an international tournament under Gemma Granger, and she played that left back better than
Jesus
you.
Christ.
You conceded an own goal, and none of your friends gave you a high five or a clap or a hug or anything. I feel so bad for you. I'd love to give you an extra seat on the pod.
Yeah. Now, and my ultimate bench warmer, this might be cruel. It might be cruel.
This is
seeing as she may have broken a collarbone.
This is incredibly cruel. How could you do this to
Lily Murphy? I'm sorry. You offer nothing.
She's 12. She's 12 years old. No, she's 18.
Yeah,
she's 18.
I just think. Lily,
I hope she bags brace this week.
With what, half a collarbone?
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think that she has been given opportunities. She had some opportunities last season. She started in the opening game against Chelsea. Why are you not taking the game on? It is open for you to take on.
Yeah.
And I felt like she looked nervous. She looked really she looked
like
scared.
A child.
She looked like a child.
Yeah. I understand the point. I'm interested to see. I don't know what the assessment was. I think Eglert said she'll be out for a few weeks. Look, she's talent to nurture. She's definitely got something. The question is, would she have started if we had Carolyn or Fagino fit?
No.
Probably not. You wouldn't be talking about
And she can come on the pod and tell me all about how she...
Actually, this is the perfect time. While you're getting recovery, the pod is here. If you want to bring us a kit as well, I would appreciate that. Do you want to move on to your segment? This is all you.
This is it, guys.
Here we go. All right.
I am a bag yank ball, but I love the NWSL. I love it. I eat it up. I watch every game practically. They're all like great times.
They are good times for Australia. I just don't like America, and I apologise to the Americans actually, and I apologise to the Canadians who play in this league and some of the Australians as well.
They just have the most rogue players, the most rogue results.
Yeah,
we're gonna go through them.
Yeah, you can go through. I'm just gonna respond. So I haven't seen pretty much any of this. So we're gonna.
Yeah, look, I mean, let's start with, the original Kang FC. The first child, the firstborn in the Kang dynasty. The Washington Spirit. Trinity Rodman is back. She played well. She got a brace, but there is a elephant in the room, and that is the Labubu doll masquerading as her boyfriend, Ben Shelton.
It's so weird. So what he played in the US Open.
Sure.
And then she...
Apparently he's a tennis player.
So he's a tennis player. She interviewed him at the game.
Sure.
And then it was like a full one, like Dua Lipa, full 180. And look, I think it was so awkward. From what I've like
we are
seen
forcing this power couple.
Yeah.
Where there
are so many better power couples.
This league is called the National Women's Soccer Lesbians. Can we please go back to our history, please?
There are so many lesbians in the league. Why are we giving this man time?
Fair enough. My screen.
I'm with you.
Orlando kept dropping points without their injured star striker, Barbara Banda. As the home wreckers of the NWSL produced another shock result. The once proletariat Chicago Stars.
Were they proletarian? Really?
Yeah, the Chicago Red Stars.
Oh, Red Stars. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Look, they've only wanted to start playing after the mid-season break, and I respect them for it. They're the
Orlando
home
Pride versus the proletariat Red Stars, am I right? Well, that's two ends of the political spectrum. Yeah. But
it was a shock.
When Banda comes back, is that...
I don't actually know, because this defense is insane.
Yeah.
Look, Marta played a good game on the left.
When is she not?
No, but it is, I think what Chicago has been able to do for the past few weeks, they've shaken the league up completely. I mean, the shock result after shock result.
Any reason for that? Is it
I don't
personnel
know.
Just a fire?
Manager change?
I was going to say managerial
under
change.
Some interesting circumstances.
Yes,
Once again, it is the NWSL.
Yeah, crazy.
No, but I think...
it might get cancelled if we talk about that. True.
Sorry. No, I think that Orlando has been on a dip for a while. And I think that they are too reliant upon a very specific style of football that is possession heavy, that lacks to score goals. And then when we're seeing a player like Barbara Banda out of the team, it does put so much pressure on the other players.
On a 40-year-old Marta to do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah,
and it's just so hard.
Yeah, we move on because the team that has just remained, KC Current. I mean,
that's what happens. They stay in.
It's just a team that I don't think is getting the plaudits enough outside of America for just being so consistent.
They've just have they lost like one game this year?
Yeah, it's insane. They're miles ahead of their opposition, and
they get in the minor. What do they call it? The minor. It's not the minor premiership.
It's like the equivalent of the league, the Shield.
Yes. But they don't get the cup at the end because they do the playoffs.
And I think that KC. I mean, this is a team that the final was held in their backyard. It was held at the KC Stadium, and they were upset that they lost in that semi-final. They were pissed. Yeah. And I think that they're now really motivated and they want to win.
Yeah, this is the second time running.
Yeah.
I think I don't watch much NWSL, but I know when the playoffs are on, it's on screen.
Yeah.
Because you have to. It's so box office. I always compare the NWSL to like an all-star game.
Yeah, practically.
In the WNBA and the NBA, the amount of pot shots they take from like 35 yards, like
the audacity.
They like Marta is in the league, but every 10 in the league thinks they're Marta.
I know, it's great. It's actually, if you want to just see players just who you don't, every time you're like, don't shoot from there, please don't shoot from, they will shoot from there.
We forgot to talk about Jaden Shaw as well.
Jaden
Shaw, 1.25 mil. That was
the biggest intra-club signing.
Crazy.
I don't know what the go is with her. She's like a bit of a Jill Roord. She doesn't like to stay in one place for too long.
Yeah.
But no, Jaden Shaw is a very good player.
Serious talent. Yeah.
Look, Sam Coffey.
So I don't watch much NWSL. I did see this.
Look, she proved once again my theory that Americans don't know how to take penalties.
This is true. This is so
Her
true.
run-up can only be described as one of those evil-looking Chinese robots malfunctioning. It genuinely looked like she was stiff.
God. Yeah, no, her shoulders and her hands. She looked like, you know, those WWE action figures that you can't move.
No.
Like they can only move in one direction, like flexion, extension.
Like, please pick a corner.
Yeah,
and also loosen up a bit, Sam. Like, it's
she's
okay.
made what's her name, Bloomer, the goalie.
Yeah.
Sort of,
3 saves.
3 saves.
This campaign.
It's a record, right?
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. I mean, maybe the Pens weren't, but.
North Carolina, Utah played the best last 6 minutes. They played the worst 89 minutes that you ever see.
So I should just watch the last 6.
They made their respective suffering fans wait till extra time for 2 goals, or for it to end up in the typical NWSL draw.
Yeah.
And this is where I like to mention my benchwarmer goat.
Oh no! Here we go.
Courtney Vine.
Oh God! Oh my God! By the way, I think Courtney Vine. A shout out to Courtney Vine. I think she's the reason we have a podcast.
Yeah,
I think the amount of times Allegra and I have spoken in the last 2 years about Courtney Vine's performances.
It's a real bedrock of our friendship.
I cannot wait to meet you. Like it's going to be so.
I love you, but your interpretation of a starter.
Yeah. I'll show you my reaction in future. You know, if we get enough subscribers, I'll show you my reaction to Courtney Vine scoring that penalty because it's not for human viewing, but only if we get the virality.
Look, she eventually got hooked after 60 minutes with a whopping 30 touches.
Wait, that's Courtney Vine. Hey, Khadija Shaw got 35.
Courtney Vine, I need you to do something.
She will. Give her time. She's getting used to being overseas still.
Look, now we move on to I'm gonna say it, my favorite team in the NWSL just to watch, Gotham.
Oh, they're just my favorite team because of their name.
Yeah, it's great.
I want them to do there needs to be a new Batman movie, and then they need to do a kit, and it needs to be a Gotham, like a dark black great.
Yeah, because we can't be doing with these template Nike kits anymore. NWSL, please.
Imagine like a Batman Gotham.
Yeah,
like we'd be looking at something special there.
Look, they had a performance that it lived up to expectations against girl boss venture capitalist FC. This is the most disappointing investment by a bunch of girl bosses since Elizabeth Holmes' Theranos. I mean, like,
it
encapsulates what has been an inconsistent season for comic book FC.
What?
AKB's new haircut, which if you haven't seen, kind of looks like Ben's haircut.
It does not look like my haircut. It looks like my haircut, like maybe on my profile picture, but nothing. Yeah, not anything I've had in the last 2 years. But look, AKB's new hair is a look.
It's a look, it's a vibe. And it distracted us from another insane performance from a keeper who seemingly is allergic to staying on the goal line. I mean, this is another Kadakoi. I please just stay on your goal line.
I just think goalkeepers are not human.
No,
sometimes.
they're crazy.
There needs to be a graph made. How good you are as a keeper on this axis, and then how nuts you are. and then you just have players like Kadakoi and AKB and what's her name from the French national, Perun Magnon. Yeah, they're just
insane.
Just headless chickens, and they just run off. They want all the smoke. It's so entertaining. And then you just have normal keepers like Tegan Micah, who's not a side.
Yeah, just
and just not as good as them.
Yeah. And lastly, look, San Diego, they dragged out what makes the wave.
I need the current versus
the current versus the wave.
Yeah.
Well, they dragged out the only thing that makes them relevant, which is Alex Morgan.
Hero.
and Jonas Idaval revealed why practically he's just your toxic European ex-boyfriend.
Your toxic European ex-boyfriend. I love Ed. What Edeval did to Arsenal, I can't think.
I mean, he pulls you in and you just end up being third anyway. I mean, this man will get a Coach of the Month award 1 month and then have just the worst display of a 0-0 or a 1-0. I mean, they got thrashed by the Houston Dash 3-0. It was poor. Idaval, I don't know how you're still in a job, but
Jonas, what a master.
You are the coach's version of a benchwarmer.
Yeah, I know many people who dislike you, Jonas. I'm not one of them. I do love Jonas, and I hope you keep waving away. I mean, whatever works for you works for me, because you're probably pissing off Allegra. my favorite part of the show, talking about Michelle Kang, the religious, economical epicenter of everything women's soccer, the multi-club ownership of today, but also being a part of every time period of football as if she was, is, and will be in every facet of football forever. I think that's my new tag.
Okay,
I think that's sweet.
Easy.
Last week we did Austria. This week we are doing ancient Egypt, right?
I'm equally not great with Egypt.
But you know enough about you know things in Egypt.
Okay,
yeah? So
sure,
we've got the pyramids,
Yep.
we've got the Sphinx, we've got Cleopatra.
Sure.
If Woso was run in ancient Egypt, what would Michelle Kang do?
Well, I mean, you mentioned it earlier, but she's like basically Cleopatra.
She's basically Cleopatra.
Yeah,
Okay.
she loves the pyramids.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think going off of also last week, I mean, she's just gonna girl boss her way to probably taking over some sort of empire, some sort of Egyptian empire.
An Egyptian empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just Cleopatra 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of like last week, we would I was kind of going like in the more creative route. This time, I'm just going history.
Oh.
This is actually real. This is what actually happened in ancient Egypt. So let's do it. My answer to what would Kang do in ancient Egypt? Yeah. So the ancient Egypt, known for many sports, of course, back in the day, strong crowds would gather to watch wrestling, boxing, archery for sports, but also played alongside activities such as hunting, fishing, and various ball games. Games. That's why it's in bold right there. Balls were made from linen, papyrus, leather, and stuffed with various materials. Basically Jabulani. Same thing. Like the new Euros ball, the amount of worldies were scored with that must have been made with leather or something. Something they were whacking the ball so hard. Shown through paintings with the ball on the ground, those hieroglyphic paintings, ball on the ground being kicked around as a precursor to our modern day football that we watch today. So now, cast your memory back to 1332 BC.
Oh, my favorite time.
No Mo Salah. No Omar Marmoush or Muhammad El Neni. Your go.
My go.
But there is an arrival of a strong and powerful leader in ancient Egypt. Was the real deal when it comes to laying down the laws of the beautiful game. Who invented ancient formations, stacking bricks of Giza in a diamond formation. The leader created the throw-in, the top bins in the same week. You know how she did that? She basically realized that when workers were low productivity or unreliable and lacked composure on a scouting review, they were discarded with the correct technique, thrown straight into the top of a rubbish bin, top bins. Thank you very much. I'm here all night. This was an expansionist dynasty, the likes the world has never seen before. The ancient silverware, all those artifacts, it's just their Champions League. It's unbelievable. They've hoarded generations of history and has bigger value in total than Leon's silverware of the 2010s. Pretty crazy, right? Yeah. What was that leader's name? It was Tutankhamun, obviously. And she has always been in control of Woso since the beginning. And that is what Michelle Kang would do. Please like and subscribe. We didn't do this last time. Like and subscribe to Benchwarmers or Woso podcast. We're on Spotify. We're on TikTok.
We're on YouTube,
Instagram. Wow, we're on
everything.
We have
We're hiding in your wardrobes. Yep. We're under your bed.
We're in your kits as well. We want all your kits.
Yeah,
we didn't come to take part. We've come to take over. Yeah. And welcome to the Benchwarmers or Woso podcast. And have a great night.